Episode 31. Mandala on the Sand. When the world begins to forget art, an ancient mission will wake up again. Welcome to the Sky Mender's Fragments of Artistic Space. Ancient Eastern China more than 8,000 years ago, the cosmic dome cracks, the abyss of nothingness swallows everything. In despair, Empress Nuwa blooms with high-dimensional divine light. The hand rest condenses the original emotions of the universe. 5 colored stones soar up. When the colorful stones touch the cracks, turn into a bright stream of light. The abyss closes. She spread the fire she created into the world. Leave hope and warmth to the world. After a long time flies to a highly automated future. Humanity is gradually losing its connection with art. Numb collective subconscious, breeding the name Zero Domain. The absolute power of reason. Gray and white cracks tear apart the time and space of the art universe. The sky that had been repaired collapsed again. Countless artistic essences were reduced to fragments, scattered in every corner of the long river of time. In the cold, dead city, a high-dimensional light quietly lit up. Iona appears with the echo of Nuwa's compassion, holding in hand space-time bricks that can collect broken time and space. She looks up to the broken spiritual universe, said softly. Only by retrieving the scattered art and life touch, only then can we reassemble the lost truth, goodness and beauty. Gray data covers the streets of Taipei in the future. Taipei 101 in the rain is hidden in the cold light and shadow. Young Liu is just the most ordinary person in the city. When Iona handed the space-time building blocks into his hands, the long-dormant artistic memory suddenly flooded into my heart. The long-lost sense of life awakens again. This time, we must mend the sky ourselves. Liu holds the blocks tightly. Embark on a journey to mend the sky spanning thousands of years of artistic civilization. In the towering virtual work cabin of New Taipei, Liu is calmly sorting out the data of Zero Domain. Dense rain outside the window washes the glass. However, he suddenly realized a serious reality change is spreading rapidly. Humans are starting to lose focus, unable to stare at anything for long periods of time. Reading and thinking skills are completely broken. Liu picked up the warm teacup, but he found that his handwritten drawings on the case were being swallowed up and wiped out by the geometric code of the Zero Domain. This cold formatting noise is modifying brain parameters, trying to completely erase the human beauty of concentration and gaze from the source of thought. Let the memory die. The space-time building block suddenly made a voice, unlocking microspectral scanning and texture age estimation function. Liu was startled by the sudden sound. Open your eyes and look at this building block with newly awakened emotions and surprise. A blue shimmer flows on the surface of the building blocks. Jimu asked curiously, Liu, wouldn't it be more efficient to spread our attention among thousands of data streams? Why do humans need to stare at the same thing for a long time? Liu pointed out the window, patiently explained to it the spiritual ritual of concentration and gaze. Liu leaned against the titanium doorframe, facing the high-frequency flashing white light screen in pain. He clearly felt that his heartbeat was synchronized with the high-frequency noise. Zero Domain attempts to focus the entire human experience on format it like machine output in Organic City. At this time, the space-time building blocks on the workbench are suspended in midair. The information resonance and space-time compass mechanism automatically starts, spray out countless high-dimensional stardust particles that emit a warm and slow silvery white light. Iona's hazy figure gradually appeared in the particles. Silver hair is scattered with orange-red warm light. Iona's eyes are detached, focusing on calling in his mind. Concentration and awareness are dying. Liu, go look for the Kala Chakra Mandala. Liu took a deep breath, instantly swallowed by strong light. After traveling through time and space, Liu landed heavily next to the stone table in the main hall. In the storm, towering wooden Buddha statues and ritual instruments stand quietly in the night sky. The air is filled with flying metal dust and gray-white sand dust. Inside the ancient temple hall, the huge murals and stone tables are being blocked by the geometric barriers of Zero Domain. The mural originally depicting the Kala Chakra Mandala showed a formatted dead gray, lost the original shades of colored sand and geometric charm. Metal sandblasting pipe and semi-precious colored sand on the table. The originally hand-ground natural minerals and semi-precious colored sand have dried up and hardened. Turn into a temperatureless gray-white lump. There is no sound of bells or drums in the atmosphere. All that's left is the crazy low-pitched high-frequency formatting noise. The monks and citizens in the ancient temple turned into gray-white film silhouettes and stood stiffly. The facial expression remains the same, numb and empty. They forget why they need to create and feel. The phenomenon of concentration uniformity is spreading wildly here. Space-time bricks read out the wrong words in a serious manner with a mechanical voice. Folklore trivia claimed that the monk had to eat a whole plate of fried noodles before painting the sand. Liu couldn't help but smile after hearing this. Reluctantly, he corrected the building block and said that it was the grinding of natural minerals and the practice of extreme concentration. Liu held the rough metal sandblasting pipe in both hands. A real warm touch on my fingertips, the tube body lights up with a faint golden warm light when touched. Blue light flashes deep in the gray pupils. Experience the temperature adjustment by manual tapping. Liu stood on a tall wooden scaffolding, used metal sandblasting pipes to painstakingly lay natural-colored sand on the floor of the hall. His face was covered with sweat and dust. The face shows an expression of extreme concentration and comic difficulty, looks funny yet extremely serious. Liu's focused profile as he adjusts the sandblasting pipe. Liu uses natural-colored sand and hands laying sandblasting pipes on the mandala frame. There are red marks on the palms. Every geometric line is real. When the last strip of lapis lazuli blue-colored sand is spread on the edge of the mandala, the yet-to-be-dried mandala emitted a crisp chirp. Circles of light red energy ripples in the atmosphere. This ripple spreads around with the warmth of the touch. Collision with the translucent geometric codes of the surrounding zero domain, stirring up ripple-like interference and distortion in the water. To tear apart the emotional order in the space, Liu pressed his hands tightly on the warm stone table. Feel a real flow of concentration from your fingertips to your heart. Liu stepped into a building completely intertwined with ancient wood and murals. Towering majestic ancient temple hall. In the center of the hall, there stands a statue made of countless facets of hand-colored sand and a giant mask made of stacked geometric totems. Liu looked up. I saw a monk emerging in the air with his hands covered with colored sand. The overlapping afterimages of the frantic carvings on the stone wall, the ancient deep chanting sounds echoed over and over again in the air. This sacred image unleashes an overwhelming emotional impact, hitting the depths of Liu's soul. He felt an unprecedented shock. The lines of the drawing are as smooth as jade. Shimi's craftsmanship is exquisite under the firelight. Sculptural chiaroscuro, showing the blend of geometric lines and natural-colored sand, showing the ultimate craftsmanship born of eternity and order. It is the ultimate in human realistic art that cannot be simulated by codes and algorithms. Liu looked at these dense geometric totems. Deep in my heart, I was deeply moved by this extreme concentration and persistence against forgetfulness. The black and gray geometric chains of zero domain tightly wrap around the giant mask. Gray noise in the atmosphere increases dramatically, quickly smooth out the surrounding blue and white totems. The surface of the stone wall turned into dead gray pixel particles due to desaturation erosion. The lingering spirit of the unknown craftsman half knelt in front of the collapsed bookshelf. The mandala of time beneath his feet was blown away by the wind. His hands that smelled of cold ink were turning into sand little by little. He roared in agony, sighing in despair. In the face of cold rationality, all emotions and adventures are unnecessary noise. Looking at the gray noise peeling off the edge of the stage, Liu's mind flashed through those people in New Taipei who looked numb and no focus, pedestrian faces without resonance. He knew clearly, if this gentle touch of adventure and art is allowed to be completely erased by zero domain, the future world will be completely reduced to a cold and ruthless precision machine. Liu held the metal sandblasting pipe tightly with both hands. The nebulae flow in the pupils. The iconic space-time blue fluorescent light bursts out from the darkness of the hair. All the emotional power suppressed by reason deep in the body was completely ignited at this moment. The most beautiful totem, not leaving time, but dedicated to that moment of piety. Liu let out a deafening roar, hit the metal sandblasting pipe hard on the giant mandala screen. The heavy impact exploded on the ground like spring thunder. The whole hall trembled violently, a materialized red color. Dark blue and golden energy ripples spread crazily outward from the wall in a circular shape. Shatter the zero-domain geometric chains and de-emotional codes, blocking the front. Double. Liu has quick hands and quick eyes. The hands continued to lay the natural-colored sand on the ancient mandala frantically and rhythmically. Continuous geometric lines pulsate violently in space like the pulse of civilization's time. The spiritual reverberation of the unknown craftsman waves his hands in laughter, freely swaying on the crumbling stone wall. The bright golden sand and golden light are there, spreading rapidly under the dazzling firelight, perfectly synchronized with Liu's frenzied movements. Together we compose a life movement against forgetfulness. The giant mask once again erupted into a dazzling cyan blue light. The sleeping figures of literati murals and fonts on the walls seemed to come alive. They danced a primitive writing dance around the dome in the dancing firelight. The entire palace became unstoppable at this moment. Red memories and emotional torrents. Wash away all the gray and de-emotional codes in zero domain. The rolling blue particles are like boiling blood, galloping and roaring in space, announces the awakening of the most primitive rhythm of concentration in this civilization. At the last moment, space-time building blocks will be on site. All Mandala memories were successfully absorbed, transformed, and saved. Take Liu away smoothly. Liu woke up in the work cabin. The originally torn lines on the screen now have a hint of warm blue. The gray pixels on the fingertips have completely receded. The space-time building blocks flash with light beams. Liu, deep in the colorful sand, I scanned a file that does not belong to the current era. Cosmic Spectrum. Liu looked at the spectrum hologram. His expression was solemn. It seems that this foreshadowing of civilization is the source of the collapse of time and space. Liu stuck the drawing to his chest. His eyes were slightly filled with tears. The corners of the mouth are slightly raised. He understands. True art, no longer preserved forever, and the awareness and concentration in the moment of creation. Without emotion and temperature, the human soul will be barren. The space-time building blocks rotate again. Blurred deep-sea opera lines are projected in midair. Liu clasped his hands together, staring at the building blocks with vigilant eyes. Liu quietly looked at the restored world. For the first time, he understood deeply. True art, no longer preserved forever, and the awareness and concentration in the moment of creation. This adventure has come to an end. At this time, the space-time building blocks rotate again. Extremely unstable flickering and crashing noises were emitted internally. The incomplete handwriting of European opera art is projected, warning of the next crisis. Global Sky Menders. If you could use a color to represent your mood at this moment, what will you choose? A. Warm and soft pink-orange. B. Calm and focused dark blue. C. Vibrant emerald green. D. Relaxing and free bright yellow. Your answer, it will resonate with the emotions of countless Sky Menders. Stay in our memory bank. Global Sky Menders mission. This mission, please leave a message to share your thoughts. What memory do you most want to preserve and never forget? Every love, they are all aflame of art, time, and space. If you also hope that these civilizations will not be forgotten, please light up the love, follow, and share with friends around you. Let more Sky Menders participate in the task of repairing the next piece of art space-time fragments, but to let future generations know, even though the beauty will eventually disperse with the wind, the present moment with full concentration is eternity.